Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Showalter, and unfortunately, we cannot meet today. But I wanted to give a real quick overview, which is what I would have done for today's class anyway. So my intro's at a separate spot. I'm not going to spend time introducing myself. That's right here. But I do want to go through some key parts of the course. So first of all, the main thing you need to know is that everything is centered on Canvas. Canvas is our home base. There's lots of links that go to different places, but Canvas is where you should be checking every week. So all of our assignments, all of our tests, labs, everything is linked through Canvas. Our links for class. And it's done on a weekly basis. Assignments are due on Tuesdays, Thursday, and Sunday. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday night. Now, if those nights aren't good for you, that's perfectly fine. This is an asynchronous course, so just do it before that. Like if the weekend, for example, was really intense for you, if you finish the Sunday night ones by Friday, then you would have the weekend. So in this course, it definitely helps to get a day or two ahead early on, and then you can just kind of maintain the same pace, except you've got that constant buffer in front of you. So I'll typically open up a week a few days before the week actually begins, and that'll give you some flexibility for when you're going to work on things. In terms of in-person meetings, we will meet on Tuesday evenings, 5:30 to 6:45. There will always be a link here. Those are required meetings. However, I realize that it is kind of an awkward time spot. So for the first up to 3 that you miss, there's no penalty or anything like that. After 3, like starting with your 4th one, there is. So again, try to make it when you can. We'll sometimes go over review past material that's still confusing for students, or we may preview some of the upcoming material. Thursday slot, which we technically have a Thursday slot reserved, we won't need to use that most of the time. I'm going to click in here on the syllabus. The one major exception would be midterm 2. So that's April 21st, and that is on a Thursday. It's in our normal time slot, a little expanded, so that you have full time to take the exam without so much time pressure. The same thing goes for the other 2 exams. Do make sure you look that I've reserved a 2-hour slot for you. So try to get those on your calendars early so that work schedules can go around it. Do let me know immediately if you see any conflict. We'll try to figure out a way to handle that. The HLS test. So these are the midterms and final. There's also smaller scale HLS tests. I do have all the dates here. These are just the date that they're due, midnight of this date. You'll actually have a 3-day window, so you don't need to worry about scheduling out a special time for them. For example, this one's due on January 30th, so I'll open it the morning of the 28th, and anytime within that 3-day window, you can take it. However, notice this, you do have to be certified on all lessons before you're even eligible to take one of these tests. So if you get behind on a bunch of homework, you can't just show up. Virtually, you can't just log in and take the test. You will have to, in order to access the test, you have had to pass all your assignments. So what do those assignments look like? Basically, let me click in here on one of them. It's through a site called Hawks, and if I just click in here to one of them, we'll load it into a new window. And the first time you log in, it'll mention something about purchasing access. You have, I think, 2 to 3 weeks free trial before you need to, and that's basically for you to decide whether or not to drop the course. You need to have access in order to take this course, but the first 2-3 weeks is your decision on if you're staying with the course. So typically you'll start here with the Learn. This is textbook material. There's some videos there, but it's helping you get exposure to the skills, to the concepts. We'll go over some in our synchronous meetings, our Zoom meetings on Tuesday evenings. However, we won't cover every single detail. I'll focus on the things that are hardest, or most challenging. For the general stuff, this is where you should be picking it up and then practicing it. Some people like to read a lot and then spend a little less time in practice. Other people like to skim through, get the basics, and jump straight into practicing the problems, whatever your style is. And when you're ready, then you can try to certify. Each different lesson will have a mastery percentage. So what that means is you have to get at least that percent in order to be certified. Now you can take it multiple times, and as long as you hit that target, you'll get full credit for the lesson. So if I would get an 85%, I would be certified, and it would go in the gradebook as 100%, assuming I did it on time, assuming I did it before the deadline. All that matters is, did you master it, or have you not yet mastered it? If you haven't, you just keep taking it again. Maybe you would interact with me with some questions. You'd probably want to go back and do the learn and practice sections. And then there's one other resource that I hope you'll make good use of. I've put a lot of time into this also. This FAQ on statistics content. What this really does, because we have a little less lecture time, we just have that Tuesday evening is really our only lecture time. These really are, in a sense, mini lectures on some of the specific concepts. And these are questions that students have asked me over the years. So you can see here, section 7.4, for example, and then there's a specific skill, or sometimes a specific concept, or how the two things connect. And then most of the times it's me. I've made a video about it. Sometimes I found a really good one and pulled it in. But these are where you should check first if you're struggling with a concept. After you've checked here, then you go ahead and email me and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this type of problem. It wasn't on the FAQ. I'll either answer back with a direct answer, or I might even make a video and make a new entry on this FAQ. Other things to note, we do have 4 labs. These are designed to help understand the material better. They're not designed to be extra busy work. They really are designed to help you grasp the material from a different angle. And I try hard to use actual data. Sometimes it's stuff that I've done actual research on or published on. But you'll be working with authentic data and answering some cool questions about life, I think. It's a lab, it's work, but for being work, I think it's valuable and it's well worth your time. So those will be linked. They'll be described up in these weekly modules that you'll be doing. It'll say something like SPSS lab right there. Okay, and I think, one other thing are these optional videos here. So I found that some students are more than happy just to dive straight into the material, the calculations, they don't really need any motivation to do so. It's just getting through the course and understanding what they can. That's fine. Other people like to see connections with the real world a lot more, and that's motivating. It helps them understand the concepts. I think that's a great idea. I think that's how I operate personally. So I've put in a bunch of videos related to each topic that we cover, most of the topics that we cover. These are optional videos. You can ignore them all completely. That's fine. I do think they bring some of the concepts home in a different way than Hawks or my FAQs would. So what I have as an incentive, if you maintain an electric journal, it could be a Google Doc, Word file, whatever, and every time you watch one of these videos, put the title of the video and then just a few sentences reflection on it or questions you had from watching it. There's going to be 2 points in the course, before the first midterm and before the second midterm, where you can submit those journals. And what they'll do, they can get you weighting points on the final exam. Basically, that means in general, the final exam is worth 30% of your final grade. But if you've gotten some of these weighting points and you do well on the final exam, that final exam could be worth up to 40% of your final grade. If you do poorly on the final exam, it could decrease the focus. I could put more of the grade on the effort you've put into the videos and decrease the weight of the final down to as low as 20%. So what it really does is take some pressure off of that final by putting in a lot of work over the course of the semester in watching these extra videos. So completely up to you. Doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. You can watch some of them and get some of those points. Feel free to let me know if you do have any questions about that. Okay, I think that is about everything I have. That was most of what I was going to go over tonight. Hope you can enjoy the snow if you're in a safe place already, or safe travels if you're making your way here to campus. And we will see you next Tuesday.